Hello again. All right, so here's my third review today. I told you I was going to finish this today, and I did. Ghost Recent Hauntings by various authors, short story collection. I'm giving this my average after I took all 30 short stories and each rating per story. Came out to 2.78, so I'm going to round up to 3. 3 stars. All right. So if this is your first time watching me do a short story review, I must warn you it's going to be long, because I review each story. But the nice thing is our reviews are nice and short and sweet. Okay, so here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, first one. There's a Hole in the City by Richard Bowes. 3 stars. This was a ghost story about 9/11. It's really good. It's about the main character's friend who keeps telling him she sees ghosts after 9/11. Shocked at the end, didn't see it coming. Okay. The Trentino Kid by Jeffrey Ford. 3 stars. I'm not going to give you stars for each one. I don't know why I'm doing that. 3 stars for the whole book, sorry. Creepy. Story about a clammer, meaning a guy who goes clamming, obviously, who hears locals talk about a drowned boy and sightings of him. What an ending. Shivers. A Soul in the Bottle by Tim Powers. A strange story about a man who falls in love with a ghost, but there's a price to pay. Not scary. Interesting ending. The Watcher in the Corners by Sarah Monette. Super creepy. A boy goes missing. The housekeeper senses something is wrong in the house after the boy disappears. What a great ending. Alright, here's my first meh. The Palace by Barbara Roden. I get it. The fear of the unknown. And I'm reading if you know what I'm reading, this is my personal review. Because I would forget after 30 stories. However, the story just dragged on and on. It was a story about a hotel and a night shift working it. The guy who is the author sees shadows. I swear to God, that's the story. Okay, the night manager at the end sees the shadows and then the author quits. Like, no explanation. Who the shadows are or anything. Not my favorite. The Proving of Smollett Stanforth by Margot Lanigan. Interesting story about a boy who's haunted by ghosts who forces beads on him every night, meaning necklaces. The beads damage him when he puts it on. Great ending. The Third Always Beside You by John Langan. Creepy ending. Shivers again. Long story about a girl who's wondering about her dad's affair. For the longest time, I didn't think this was a ghost story. I really didn't. But it was right at the very end, which was cool. The Plum Blossom Lantern. Oh my god. Great story. By Richard Parks. Spooky. Story about 2 ghosts with one of them visiting her lover. Does she really love him or is she using him for another purpose? Alright, here's my next meh story. Meh. Uncle by Stephen Graham Jones. I know, right? Even though this is my first one I've read of him, so I'm hoping his novels are better. It would have gotten 3 stars except the ending sucked. Story about a man who was widowed but he thought his dead wife ghost was still in the house. That wasn't great. The Rag and Bone Man by Steve Duffy. Very long short story but good and interesting. Like how I did that very long short story. About a man who lived a long time and these undead people coming after him. Ending was good. Neil Gaiman! October in the Chair. Great story. Good story about the 4 seasons sitting by a fire and telling stories. Wasn't scary. Stories were strange and didn't really end, but I was okay with that. Savannah is 6 by James Van Pelt. Enjoyed the story about a man who lost his brother when he was young by drowning. His family now goes to the family cabin near the place where his brother drowned. Not scary, but definitely interesting. Alright, this is one that really sucked. Wonderwall by Elizabeth Hand. Long story and stupid. Not even sure what was supernatural about it. Story about a girl who does drugs and goes to college and flunks out. Seriously. Between the Cold Moon and the Earth by Peter Atkins. So creepy, but so good. A man finds his friend by water and she tells him a story when she went to America. Really cool ending. Something I didn't expect, so it was good. The Muldoon by Glenn Hirschberg. Super duper creepy. Not just creepy, super duper creepy. About 2 kids whose grandfather just died being in his house at night playing around when the weird things happen. Great story. Booth's, like John Wilkes Booth, Booth's Ghost by Karen Joy Fowler. Not scary. Nice brief history of the Booth family and the ghost Edwin scene. Enjoyed it. I can't speak. Oh, and me trying to say the name of this next story is going to be fun. Apokatastasis. Apokatastasis. Okay. By Caitlin R. Kernan. It was definitely creepy. Woman sees an animal in the hallway at night. Dude, it was freaky. By her grandmother's picture. Weird stuff is happening in and behind the picture. Love the ending. Another meh. The Lagerstadt? By Laird Barron. Story was literally all over the place. Woman's husband and son die in a plane crash. As a great widow, she keeps seeing her dead husband everywhere. Is it just her, or is there some dark magic involved? Stupid ending. Cell Call by Mark Laidlaw. Weird. Just weird. Guy gets a cell phone for his car, answers the phone, talks to his wife, gets lost, but is he really lost? Really strange ending. Cruel Sister by Nissi Shaw. So good. So very, very good. Two sisters and one kills her sister without anyone knowing. Strange things happen after that in order for the dead sister to be found. So good. The Box by Stephen Gallagher. Great story about a diving box that is kind of haunted and freaky. It was definitely freaky. Ancestor Money by... Sorry about that, my phone just went off. Ancestor Money by Maureen F. Mchugh. Not a creepy, spooky story at all. It's about a dead woman who has to travel to China to get money for her ancestor left her. Really good story. Dosed, spelled D-H-O-S-T, by Melanie Tem. Oh my god. This was such a great story. I'm not sure why I didn't give it 4 stars, but I gave it 3.5. A story about a girl whose dad's in prison keeps telling her family that her father's a ghost. But what's happening to the girl? I don't know, but it's crazy. That's all I have to say. Mrs. Midnight by Reggie Oliver. Okay, this was the most grossest one I've read. Ick. So I put in here, ick. But a great story. So this reality show host is looking to invest in opening an old theater. However, there is a spirit that won't let go of his past or the theater. Super graphic. Ick. But I like it. Like I said, good story. Tin Cans. So good. By Ekterina Sadia. Good story about a man working security at a home he used to chauffeur. He sees dead girls everywhere, and it was definitely creepy. So creepy. We're getting there. 5 more to go. Mr. Aikman's Air Rifle by Peter Straub. This was meh. And I love Peter Straub. And this was meh. Okay, story about 4 men in an old home where strange things are happening. Reason I like it was the ending. There was no answers to any of the questions I had. I hate that. The Score by Aleah Don Johnson. I did not finish this, and I gave it nothing. No stars. Because it was the worst story in the book. It made absolutely no sense. It was gibberish. I can't even explain what it was about, because it made no sense to me. It wasn't even... I don't even know where the supernatural part fit into that. The X by Steve Rasnick Tem. Great story about the widows whose wife won't let him get on with his life. Nice and comedic. It was definitely funny. Alright, so my last 2 are the best of the book. Okay. Faces in the Walls by John Shirley. Wow. So this guy... setting myself up. So this guy is invalid. He's in the sanitarium. And he's like only in his 30s. But he has no feeling. And he can't talk. And he sees these faces in the walls. And one of the faces talks to him. And it's so good. Like, what happens? Like, he finds a very disturbing thing about the girl who talks to him. And this other person that works there also abuses him. And wow, the revenge is just amazing. So, really good story. And lastly, The Case of the Lighthouse Shambler by Joe R. Lansdale. Wow. So, the story is about this woman who's like a paranormal investigator. And she tells a story to a bunch of guys who don't believe her. And she investigates this case at this lighthouse where, I won't go into the historical detail, but where this malevolent, I'm probably saying it wrong, evil spirit is haunting this guy because he's trying to build a house in this lighthouse. And it's a djinn. So I'm like, I love stories about djinns, and I don't know why. So it's really good, it's really scary, and it's just, when they actually confront the djinn, it's just amazing. It's just great, and I love it. So I loved it all together. So all in all, it was a really good book. There's a few mehs and one I couldn't finish, but the majority of the stories I liked, and I'm glad I've read it. So after all that, my hair's just all over the place. Ghosts, recent hauntings, multiple authors, and I gave it an average of 3 stars. Now that is it for me tonight. I may be on tomorrow. If not, I should definitely be on this weekend. So until later, guys. Have a great night. Pleasant dreams. Bye.